Good evening and welcome to the Jewish Federation of Omaha's Awards Night and Annual Meeting. This is the first JFO annual meeting in our brand new Alan J. Levine Theater. I'm Alan Potash, CEO of the Jewish Federation of Omaha. We are so happy to see you here tonight, live and in person. Thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate the accomplishments of our community. It's now my honor to bring up Mike Siegel, president of JFO, to start us off this evening. But first, we have to wish him a happy birthday. Today's his birthday, so let's wish him a happy birthday.
Thank you, Alan. Good evening. I'm happy to welcome you to one of the Omaha Jewish community's most celebrated nights, and as Alan has already mentioned, we are so thrilled to be able to welcome you live and in person this year. Our first awards tonight go to the Agency Volunteers of the Year. These people are the backbone of our organization, those who work diligently behind the scenes and work not for the recognition, but for their love of our mission. When your name is called, please come up to the left side of the stage and remain on stage until all agency volunteer awards are announced.
The Anti-Defamation League and Community Relations Committee, under the leadership of Gary Nachman, are committed to addressing the issues of prejudice and discrimination that affect the people of Nebraska, Iowa, and Kansas. They provide numerous educational programs to the region, monitor and expose racial and religious extremists, and advocate for the enforcement of hate crimes legislation. For their 2020 Volunteers of the Year, the ADL-CRC has selected the Walk Against Hate Committee, which includes Tippi Denenberg, Jen Goodman, Dr. Erica Kirby, Preston Love Jr., Sarah Rips, and Justin Spooner.
The Walk Against Hate Committee produced an incredible first-of-its-kind event during extraordinary circumstances. Accessible both online and on the ground, this interactive guided tour across the Omaha metro area inspired hundreds of participants as they visited multiple locations that hold significance to the evolution or future of civil rights and civil liberties in our community. In addition, more than $10,000 was raised to fight anti-Semitism, bias, and extremism in our region. We are grateful for the community's passion for this project and for the work that made the Walk Against Hate so successful. Congratulations, and thank you for your volunteer service.
The Institute for Holocaust Education, under the leadership of Scott Litke, is Nebraska's resource for teachers, students, and the public to learn about the history of the Holocaust and what it means today. This year, the IHE's programs reached 350 teachers, over 11,000 students, and 1,500 additional community members. IHE's Volunteer of the Year is Shannon Veasley. Shannon, please come on up.
Shannon was nominated for this award for her outstanding work and commitment to the IHE. Without her contributions and expertise, both their annual Tribute to the Rescuers essay contest and their refugee teaching unit could not have been taken to the next level. Shannon, thank you for your dedicated service to the IHE. Congratulations.
The Jewish Community Center, under the leadership of Mark Martin, has been the hub of Jewish activity since it opened its doors in 1925. Its programs include fitness and wellness, sports and recreation, aquatics, dance, arts and culture, early childhood, camps, and additional programs that serve children, teens, and families. And during the year of COVID, the JCC implemented all new virtual programming and an entirely new program called School Day at the J. When schools were closed and parents needed an alternative for their students, the JCC was open to them. The Volunteer of the Year this year for the JCC is Gabby Williams. Gabby?
Gabby has been a huge asset in the development of BBYO and MZ Yoshana BBG here in Omaha, going above and beyond the expectations of a BBYO advisor. She has been an integral part of improving the Omaha BBYO program and has made significant impact on the lives of Jewish teens in Omaha. Congratulations, Abby.
The vision of the Jewish Federation of Omaha is that every person in Omaha feels welcome on our campus and is inspired to have a meaningful and relevant relationship with the Jewish Federation of Omaha and its agencies. For their 2020 Volunteers of the Year, the Federation has selected the JFO Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, which includes Michelle Alberts, Lee Chavez, Jonathan Crossley, Jenny Gates Beckman, Esther Katz, Erica Lukoff, Pam Monsky, Mariana Neto, Kale Sakir, Jamie Skogberg, Hallie Taylor, Jesse Taylor, and Murphy Wolfgar. Please come on up.
As members of this committee, these staff have volunteered their time well above and beyond the requirements of their jobs to help launch and expand a campus-wide DEI effort. Through one of our most challenging years, the JFO DEI Committee met weekly to create a plan to engage representatives from across all agencies and departments and seek the input of all individual employees to bring our campus culture closer to our vision of being welcome to all. In educating yourselves as a committee, you realized that in order to provide the entire Jewish community as well as the non-Jews engaged on our campus with the most meaningful experience, we must first do the work as employees and leaders. Through your work, you have embodied the concept of Tikkun Midot, and it's important to Tikkun Olam. If we are to begin to repair our world, we must first repair ourselves. The JFO recognizes that this responsibility has required a significant commitment of time and emotional resources, and we are grateful and appreciative of your dedication to our staff and community. Thank you for your service to the Federation, and congratulations.
The JFO Department of Community Engagement and Education, under the leadership of Jenny Gates Beckman, is tasked with enhancing community engagement, promoting lifelong, innovative Jewish learning, and contributing to community planning. The management of the Kripke Jewish Federation of Library falls under these auspices. The Volunteer of the Year for Community Engagement and Education is Dr. Jeanette Gabriel.
Through many hours of service, Jeanette was instrumental in ensuring our Kripke Federation Library collection was properly assessed and transferred off-site during the renovations. Her unique position as a member of both the Omaha Jewish and UNO communities set us up for success in exploring a lasting partnership together. The JFO CEE is so fortunate to have her assistance and expertise, and we are extremely grateful for everything she does for the Jewish community, both on and off the JFO campus. Congratulations, Jeanette.
The Jewish Press, under the leadership of Vanetta Vandekamp Wright, brings local news to over 2,300 subscribers every week. The Press marked its centennial in 2020. Digital issues dating back to the early 1950s are available online. Tonight, the Press is honoring its Volunteer of the Year, Eric Shapiro.
As a board member, Eric has been instrumental in translating staff's budget speak to language that everyone can understand, and he has always been a solid source of support. In Annetta Vandekamp's word, every board should have an Eric Shapiro. While Eric is not able to be with us tonight, we thank him for his service and congratulate him for being selected as the Jewish Press Volunteer of the Year.
The Rose Bumpkin Jewish Home, under the leadership of Chris Ulvin, is a 5-star skilled nursing care provider with a stellar reputation for offering exceptional care, short-term rehabilitation, and commitment to the mission of the caring of our Jewish community elders. The Rose Bumpkin Jewish Home has chosen Bob Kaplan as the Volunteer of the Year.
As a faithful volunteer, Bob has shown compassion and genuine friendship to the residents of the home. We are grateful and appreciative of your dedication to our community. Bob, thank you for your outstanding work. Thank you. Thank you for your outstanding work and commitment to RBJH, and congratulations. To all who volunteer on this campus, thank you. Your time, dedication, and continuing commitment on behalf of the JFO and our agency is the energy that drives us to accomplish our mission. Thank you. You may return to your seats. That way. Okay. The Community Service Award recognizes programs that are creative, innovative, and that foster Jewish cultural, religious, educational, or social purposes. This year's Community Service Award goes to Chabad of Nebraska for its Seder to Go program in partnership with the JFO. Would Rabbi Mendel Katzman and Shani Katzman please come forward to receive your award? During Passover, the Seder to Go program became an avenue of inspiration and spiritual and emotional support to the many community members who have been isolated this past year, especially during the early days of COVID. The program fostered camaraderie from everyone involved, bringing many people together, making them feel close and connected, and giving them the tools and skills to experience a Passover Seder, even if they were in quarantine. Rabbi and Shani, thank you for your commitment, and thanks to everyone who made this project such a success. We know this project is ongoing and that you are continuing to offer Seder to Go services to our community. Rabbi and Shani, thank you for all you do. I now ask Rabbi Brian Stoller and Jacob Geltzer to come to the stage to present the Robert and Ellen Gordman Jewish Teen Leadership Awards. The Robert and Ellen Gordman Jewish Teen Leadership Award is presented to teens who have demonstrated exceptional commitment to the community and proven leadership ability. Tonight, we honor two outstanding young people for their contributions to our Jewish community, Laura Kirschenbaum and Jordan Raffel. Laura and Jordan, please come to the stage.
Laura Kirschenbaum is a senior honor roll student at Burke High School and a member of Temple Israel. She's the daughter of Jennifer Tompkins and Matt Kirschenbaum. Laura is an accomplished dancer and musician who's passionate about the arts. She has been in dance for 15 years and is a member of the JCC's dance training company. She has also worked as an assistant pre-ballet teacher for kindergartners at the JCC. Laura served as her school's NHS vice president and was a poll worker for the 2020 elections. A leader amongst her peers, she also served as OTYG president and was social action vice president her sophomore year. A dedicated student at Hebrew High throughout her high school career, she's given back to her community through working as a preschool madricha at Temple. As a teacher's assistant for Temple's pre-kindergarten religious school, Laura is an incredible role model, and the children adore her and look up to her. She's also a brilliant programmer, creating both formal and informal Jewish educational opportunities. Through the youth group, she organized Temple's High Holiday Food Drive, which raised nearly $3,000 worth of food for the Omaha community. Laura created and taught a 6-class course about Judaism and local politics for teens. She taught about policy issues on the city and state levels and led her peers to write their local representatives in the city of Omaha and the Nebraska unicameral. Laura embodies the spirit of thinking globally and acting locally. Congratulations, Laura, on this well-deserved honor.
Jordan Raffel is the son of Wendy and Adam Raffel. The Miller North senior plans to attend the University of Kansas and major in finance and international business leadership. He has worked at the JCC in member services and as a lifeguard. He joined BBYO leadership in 2017 as local chapter secretary and has also served as BBYO regional president and local vice president of recruitment, for which he was recognized internationally. Jordan has received the Tree of Life Award, which is given to members who have recruited 8 or more Jewish teens into BBYO. Many of the teens who he helped recruit are now serving as board members on the chapter and council level. As a member of the Mid-America Region Coordinating Committee, Jordan has been able to work and collaborate with other council presidents to plan engaging and meaningful programs. As president of his chapter and council, he worked hand in hand with his fellow board members to make sure the legacy of Mother Chapter AZA No. 1 and Omaha BBYO is a long and growing one. Even when Jordan was not elected in a leadership position, he has been a great role model and a very active member in BBYO. Jordan has also served on the JFO Young Jewish Giving Teen Foundation Board and attended APAC as a teen delegate who lobbied politicians in Washington, D.C. on behalf of the organization. His interest in civics led him to work as a data entry clerk for the Douglas County Election Commission in 2020. Jordan was also 2020 state champion for Miller North DECA, an association of marketing students that encourages the development of business and leadership skills through academic conferences and competitions. Congratulations, Jordan. We look forward to seeing what you will achieve in the coming years. I also wanted to mention an award we've been giving since 2016, the Leon Fellman Emerging Leader Award. Is given to 2 BBYO members that have joined within the past year and have consistently attended and been involved in BBYO programming. They have also shown interest or been recommended by their brother Olives or sister BBGs as someone who would benefit by being involved in BBYO on the international level. The award includes a stipend to be used to attend any international BBYO experience. This year's Leon Fellman Emerging Leader Award recipients are Evan Kugler of Mother Chapter AZA No. 1 and Eva Bloom of MZ Oshana BBG. Congratulations to them both.
Jody and Buzz Malashok, would you please come forward to present the Jody and Neil Malashok Award for Professional Excellence?
Hi. Jody wasn't able to come tonight, and she wanted me to extend her well wishes and congratulations to all the award recipients. It is our honor and privilege to present the Jody and Neil Malashok Award for Professional Excellence. We present this award annually to a professional in the Omaha Jewish community who has shown exemplary performance in advancing the mission of their organization. The Jewish Federation of Omaha Board of Directors has selected as this year's recipient Chris Ulvin, Executive Director of the Rose Blumpkin Jewish Home. Chris, would you please come up? Chris led his staff through one of the most challenging times in the history of the Rose Blumpkin Jewish Home. From the very beginning of the pandemic, he had the health and safety of the residents and staff on his mind every day. As the virus spread towards Omaha, even before there was official guidance in place, Chris made the difficult decision to proactively close the home to visitors and implement protocols to mitigate the potential for the pandemic to spread to the home. He also requested all staff to begin wearing PPE and take precautions early on to avoid potentially bringing the virus into the home. Chris is always quick to give his staff credit as they personally committed to altering their lifestyles to do whatever they could to not be exposed to the virus. Chris also found ways, such as organizing meals and activities, to make the staff at the home feel appreciated for their personal sacrifices. When testing became available, he required all staff to be tested regularly based on the guidance of CDC and local health officials. He also communicated with families and created meaningful ways for relatives to stay in touch and see the residents through window visits and virtually. The professionalism and leadership of Chris and the entire RBJH staff was beyond the expectations of many. The Rose Blumpkin Jewish Home was one of the last nursing homes in the area to have the virus impact residents. Chris's dedication to keeping the residents and staff safe during this challenging time is an example of his focused leadership. He knew what needed to be done, and we are deeply grateful for his persistent commitment. Chris, we are pleased and honored to present you with the Jody and Neil Malashak Award for Professional Excellence. Congratulations. Congratulations.
What a year we've had. Wow. Thank you, Neil, and please send Jody my thank you. The JSS and JFO board for all the support. This last year, there's been some decisions that we've had to make that weren't maybe so popular or whatever, but the support's been amazing, especially about a year ago. We needed that support, so I appreciate that. I need to thank my staff. What an amazing group of people we have, committed to taking care of the residents. Can't say enough about them. It took every single one of us to do what we did. I want to thank my family. It was probably a little more difficult to put up with than normal for the last year, so appreciate that. As difficult as it was for the staff, it was more so for the residents and families. You imagine not being able to have a hug or anything for over a year. So the day we were able to allow that, it was a great day. We really appreciated that when they relaxed it enough to do that. The families understood the whole way through this. The family support was amazing. So I get very little pushback, if any, from families. They understood what we were doing was for the best, and they were so supportive. I want to say thank you to the people who donated for our Wacky Wednesday celebrations with the staff, bought lunch for staff. That helped us get through. There's no doubt about that. And then I want you all to know, too, all of the home staff are so lucky to work for you guys. The Omaha Jewish community is amazing, and we're proud to work for you. So thank you.
Please welcome the Jewish Federation of Omaha's Chief Executive Officer, Alan Potash, to present the CEO report.
Thank you, Mike. And Chris, it's well received. You deserved it, and you did a great job at the home, and you made us all proud. We have spent the last year and a half in the desert. COVID-19 has reshaped most of everything we have done. No matter who you are, where you are, you've been impacted and have had to change. We call this the new normal. So true for us at the Jewish Federation of Omaha. Yes, adapting we did, and we did so much more than anyone expected of us. We did so because we have great people that care about what we do in our community. Our community has diverse interests and needs. As individuals, we came together to form a community to meet those needs, and I thank you. John Myers and I stood virtually last year to give this State of the Federation and honor many of our volunteers who had helped us through the previous year. The pandemic was only a few months old, and we could not see into the future. Well, John could. He reminded me of that almost every day. That's true. John could see into the future. And we continued doing the work we needed to do on behalf of our community. In addition, we continued adapting. John turned the JFO leadership over to Mike Siegel in January, and he has continued to strengthen the work needed to keep us moving forward. Soon you'll hear from Mike, who will give his presidential remarks. He has spearheaded our strategic plan process, and we look forward to continuing to update you on the progress of this initiative. Other transitions we recognize tonight are the retirements of some of our key leaders and longtime staff people. This evening will mark the end of Steve Levenger and Lori Sullivan's professional leadership for the Federation. Steve and Lori's tenure here working on behalf of the community has been transformative on many levels. Individually and collectively, they have used their unique skills to strengthen our mission. Under Steve's leadership of our campaigns, we raised more funds each year than the year before. And his passion for our campus transformation project has made it easy for the community to see the value in participating. Lori's drive for making things better every day for our community started from day one as she re-engaged Jewish Omaha through the campaign cabaret. With her skills as convener, she consistently brought volunteers and leaders to the table to guide our events and programs. A trait that Lori has is to assign responsibilities to someone and convince them that it's an honor. Or she honors them with an opportunity to be part of the whole. She does this gracefully with a purpose and meaning. Bringing women together is another passion of Lori's, whether for philanthropy, Israel, or learning. By doing so, she has helped many women find meaning in Federation and Jewish life. There's a Talmudic teaching that goes like this: make for yourself a teacher and acquire yourself a friend. With both Lori and Steve, I have found this to be true, not just for me, but for many people in our community. As friends, I will always miss their teachings. Lori and Steve, and as a way to continue to bring Judaism into your homes, we are excited to share a small token of our appreciation with each of you. Your staff has ordered each of you something special from Israel, and they'll be presenting those gifts to you after we adjourn tonight. We have a lot to celebrate tonight, and I want to acknowledge the success of every one of our agencies that they've had this year. The ADL CRC has begun work with the JFO and the overall Jewish community to educate around issues of bias and allyship. Through the COVID-19 Relief Fund, Jewish Family Service has provided financial assistance to 44 Federation employees and 52 Jewish community members who were impacted by the pandemic. While other newspapers around the country have folded this past year, the Jewish press pivoted and remained flexible, and they are currently exploring the value of print versus digital. The JCC has also been resilient in its programming, and its staff are currently hosting about 155 children each week during summer camp. To date, 190 individuals have participated in IHE's new Third Thursday Lunch and Learn, with an average of 30 participants per session. Our Community Engagement and Education Department recently wrapped up 7 months of virtual Beit Midrash programming with an average of 51 attendees per session. And finally, while the Rose Blumpkin Jewish Home staff underwent regular COVID testing and other changes in their daily lives to help keep the residents safe, residents' families as well, and they actively supported the efforts being made to them by the home. It was truly a team effort this year, and I mentioned earlier just how much of an organization we are that we had to adapt. There isn't one agency that didn't find a solution to meet the needs of our community. I'd also like to thank Zoe Rikus, former JFO president, who has represented our federation and other intermediate-sized federations on the board for Jewish Federations of North America. In addition, she continues to represent us and our interests on the United Israel Appeal Board, where she demonstrates Omaha's passion for Israel. She continues to play a significant role in addressing our city-sized needs on the national and international level. Thank you, Zoe. As I look to the coming year, I'll be implementing components of the strategic plan that you'll find mentioned in the impact report that will be available to you at the welcome desk as you leave. These priorities will be guided for us for the next few years as we continue to build on the tradition that this great organization was founded on over 118 years ago. We grow stronger every day, and we adapt to the challenges in front of us, and it is my honor to be the CEO for the Jewish Federation of Omaha. Now I'd like to invite my friend Steve Levenger to give the campaign update. You can give Steve an applause. You can also give Lori Sullivan an applause, too.
Thank you, Alan. Thinking back over a little over a year ago, we were planning our 2021 annual campaign with a host of question marks and real trepidation. We were embroiled in an unprecedented global pandemic. The Rose Blumpkin Jewish Home was closed to outside visitors. Businesses were shuttering, and people were losing their jobs. The JCC was shut down. We also were in the middle of raising funds for our COVID-19 emergency relief campaign, which successfully brought in over $300,000 to support those in our community with great need. How receptive would Jewish Omaha be to our annual campaign was a question on everyone's minds. Fast forward to today, we are absolutely emboldened by the sheer strength and generous nature of this amazing Omaha Jewish community. For the third year in a row, our community established an all-time record by raising a little over $3.5 million in campaign funds, eclipsing last year's results by almost $50,000, and importantly, meeting all the necessary programs and service needs that our community has. When we consider this occurred during some very dark times on the heels of a successful COVID-19 emergency relief fund campaign, and in parallel with raising millions of dollars in support of the Federation Campus Building Project, our best explanation is that this only happens because of you, and for that we are grateful. A big thank you to the 100-plus volunteers and over 1,500 donors, including almost 130 new contributors, and particularly to Jamie and Ted Friedland and the entire campaign cabinet for your passion and dedication. This year's campaign theme focused on the power of positive thinking by embracing the notion that we should imagine tomorrow. Very few times in the history of Jewish Omaha, perhaps never, has this phrase resonated as loudly as it has over the past 15 months. We are emerging from COVID as a stronger, more cohesive community, and we should celebrate and take pride in our successes and be poised to reach even greater heights. Another community highlight over the past few years has been the nomination and acceptance of 4 very deserving Jewish Omaha community leaders to the National Women's Philanthropy Board of the Jewish Federations of North America. Kimberly Robinson, Stacy Rockman, Nancy Schlesinger, and most recently Cindy Goldberg are representing our community to the highest standards while receiving valuable training in leadership development. It's really unprecedented for a community of our size to have this number of women on the board, and by serving as liaisons with the Jewish Federations of North America, Jewish Omaha's national exposure has been elevated. Thank you, ladies, for your involvement on this important board. Omaha also is honored to have 4 participants in the inaugural Emerge program of young leaders. They are Jess Cohn, Allie Freeman, Ellie Novak, and Hillary Rubison. This program will inspire women under 45 years old to get involved and aspire to leadership roles within the Federation system. The program includes virtual learning and mentorship opportunities. And finally, a quick word about the campus building project. In 1974, when the doors were opened to this Jewish Community Center, it was fully expected that the facility would meet the needs of the community for decades and generations to come. 47 years and $31 million later, we are absolutely thrilled that we are once again relevant, vibrant, and positioned as the hub of Jewish life. We are welcoming to all, and as the mural behind you conveys, how good and how pleasant it is when people gather together in unity. To that end, you'll note in tonight's program that we are entering the next phase of the building project and inviting everyone, regardless of religion, to support the building of a 3rd gym, which will be named in honor of Uncle Chuck Arnold. And a pickleball complex that should attract legions of new JCC members who want to participate in the fastest growing sport in America. Also, please keep in mind the need to further build our Federation Facilities Replacement Fund, an endowment that Howard Epstein at the Foundation is managing. In future weeks, you will see more information on this next phase and a really cool donor recognition wall that actually is now finished being constructed in the fitness center. It is definitely our future now, and we ask you to be a part of it. We thank you all, donors, volunteers, and leaders in our community. Here's to an amazing future. And now I'd like to invite Mike Siegel back to the stage to share his presidential remarks with us.
Thank you, Steve. Good evening. First, I'd like to congratulate all of the honorees tonight. Without your individual passions, this building would be just that, a building. Instead, you have created an environment of community, friendship, and education. As I sat down to write this address, I wanted to focus on all the things we have accomplished this past year. My focus was going to be on the strategic plan, but I struggled as the plan is only 4 months old and we just finished introducing it to our professional staff and our community. Then I took a step back and thought, wait a minute, we as a community have accomplished much more than long-term goals from a strategic plan. We persevered through a national pandemic as a community. Our campus was able to stay open and manage quarantine cases by streamlining our processes. We were able to hold summer camps for our kids while other Omaha organizations had to shut down. We opened our fitness stores and held exercise classes by July 1st. We provided a home and acted as both caregivers and family members to our senior residents at the Rose Blumpkin Jewish Home. Through our community's generosity, JFS was able to reach out to our families in need and offer necessary assistance. Our staff pivoted and adjusted well to our new normal. We completed phase 1, 2, and 3 of this multi-million-dollar remodel with limited disruption to our members. For a world that was pretty much in a holding pattern, I say we did our job. We were there to support our community. Next year, I plan to report on the progress we've made following our strategic plan that was developed and approved by the board this past February. This plan provides our organization with the roadmap that it needs to achieve our ultimate objectives. There are many goals that lie ahead, but the biggest one is filling this building with community members who are attending quality programming, entertainment, and engagement. We strive to make all members want to be on campus. I look forward to updating you on our progress in the coming months. While this address may not sound like a typical presidential summary of the year, let's be honest, it wasn't a typical year. The fact that we've come out the other side of this pandemic stronger and more flexible makes it a successful year. We should all be proud of how we stepped up and did what was necessary to get through this. I thank each of you for doing your part. Thank you. I would be remiss if I did not thank the JFO board for their dedication and wisdom during these past 14 months. John Myers did an amazing job leading the board through unknown territory. Thank you, John. I would also like to acknowledge the following outgoing board members and thank them for their hard work. As I call your names, please come to the left side of the stage. Please come to the left side of the stage. David Galinsky, John Glazer, Abigail Cutler, and Phil Wolf. Please join me in thanking them. Please join me in thanking them for their service. Thank you. You may return to your seats. We will now install our 2021-22 Board of Directors. If you are present, please stand as I call your names. The members of the 2021-2022 Jewish Federation of Omaha Board of Directors are Betsy Baker, Ellie Batt, Bob Belgrade, Sharon Brocky, Toba Cohn-Dunning, Ron Feldman, Karen Flahart, Margie Gutnick, John Lair, Lisa Lukoff, Brian Nogg, Mike Norton, Linda Saltzman, Nancy Schlesinger, Matt Shapiro, Jeff Zachariah. I'd like to personally thank each board member for their commitment and dedication to our community. Please clap or raise your hand. Let us honor and affirm the election of these individuals to the Board of Directors for the Jewish Federation of Omaha. Every year, the Jewish Federation of Omaha presents the LOIS, JEANNE, SCHRAGER, and Bruce Feldman Memorial Young Leadership Awards to lay leaders whose involvement helps strengthen and grow the community. It is now my pleasure to introduce virtually Tim SCHRAGER, who will present the LOIS, JEANNE, SCHRAGER Memorial Young Leadership Award.
Good evening. My name is Tim SCHRAGER, and I'm honored to be with you tonight. The pandemic has kept me from traveling, and I miss my Omaha friends more than ever, so hopefully this will help them remember what I look like. The LOIS JEANNE SCHRAGER Memorial Young Leadership Award is given annually in memory of my mother. Lois was an amazing woman who realized that volunteering her time to bring joy and comfort to others enriched her life and brought her happiness. She taught me many lessons in our short time together. And one lesson I value most are words she lived by. I may pass this way but once, and if there's any good that I can do, let me do it now, for I'll never pass this way again. This award is given annually to a young woman in Omaha who has made a personal commitment to the Jewish community, both locally and globally, and is a role model for leadership in her volunteer work. Tonight, it is our pleasure to present this award to Abigail Cutler. Congratulations, Abby. Abigail has shown tremendous leadership in all she does at the JFO. She has given countless hours to the annual campaign, and together with her husband Adam, chaired the Kahila Cup. For the past 3 years, she was president of the Jewish Press Board. She also served as the young adult co-chair at Bethel Synagogue, was Super Sunday co-chair, Pearl Society co-chair, and a JFO board member. And as the mom of now 8-year-old Sam and 5-year-old Henry, she served on the Penny Z. Davis Parent Committee. This is where we all bow down to Abby and say, "I'm not worthy." Abby always has a positive attitude, no matter what happens. She is dedicated to this community and willing to take an active role in keeping it healthy and thriving. She works hard for our community because she truly believes in it. In addition, she has shown such kindness, always willing to listen and give advice when needed. She's not only a good leader, she's a very human leader, putting relationship building at the forefront. To the Jewish Press Board, she has brought warmth and a caring attitude. She has been tremendously supportive throughout the pandemic. Abigail is one of those lay leaders who gives her time and energy generously because she is really engaged and she loves this community. The room always becomes a little happier when she walks in. Congratulations, Abby.
I'm a little nervous. I usually like to be behind the scenes, so it's great to be here in person with everyone tonight. Thank you to the Federation for recognizing me with this honor, and a heartfelt thank you to the family of Lois JEANNE SCHRAGER, especially her son Rick, who was kind enough to share with me what a very special person his mother was. Lois, a fellow social worker, was an extraordinary woman who led by example with warmth, kindness, and the dedication to help others succeed. I am so honored to receive this recognition in her memory. Around 18 years ago, I stepped foot on this campus for the very first time. It was a privilege completing my internship and eventually working at the Rose Blumkin Home and Jewish Family Services. I later left to pursue another career opportunity at Methodist Hospital, and it was at one of these annual Federation meetings that I realized how much I missed and longed to feel connected to this campus again. So when I was asked to join the Jewish Press Board, I jumped at the opportunity to get re-engaged. For the past 8 years, our kids have attended the Early Learning Center, swimming lessons, after-school care, sports and dance classes, and programs sponsored by Friedel and PJ Library. Adam and I have attended educational series, participated in Federation events, fundraising, and lots of other programs. We have enjoyed numerous gatherings with family and friends, a favorite being the Backyard Concert Series. When COVID hit, our life paused and we had to reshuffle. The Federation was there with virtual programs to help us still feel connected. On March 1st, our kids returned to the Early Learning Center and Kids In aftercare without missing a beat. They were welcomed back by friendly faces, even though masked, who helped make the transition as smooth as possible. While it's great to physically be back here in person, it's not this building that makes the Federation of Omaha so special. It's the relationships that we have built to make this place our home. To my husband, Adam, thank you for challenging me to do more, supporting me when I do, and holding the same passion, dedication to volunteering in the Jewish community. To Sam and Henry, may the Jewish community always be your home away from home, a place where you want to be. I have been extremely fortunate to have wonderful role models. My mom, Judy Erpelding, and mother-in-law, Debbie Cutler, are both strong, hardworking women who have gracefully led by example. They are also always willing to help with pickups and watching the boys so that I can attend meetings. My dad, Mark Erpelding, is also extremely generous with his time and talent while never expecting anything in return. And my father-in-law, David Cutler, actively volunteers with the Omaha greater community. Thank you to Annetta and all of the staff at the Jewish Press for your hard work, dedication, and commitment in keeping the heart of the Omaha Jewish community growing strong. Last March, when all else was shutting down, it was comforting and a sense of normal to still receive our beloved paper. It has been my pleasure to be on the board and serve as president. To the Federation staff, especially Diane, Jesse, and Michelle, thank you for making volunteering so easy. I am honored to be included among the previous recipients of the LOIS Jean Schrager Award, and congratulations to all of the other award recipients tonight. Our Federation is only as strong as our professional and lay leaders. I encourage everyone here tonight to think about how you can contribute to the continued success of the Omaha Jewish community, just as LOIS Jean Schrager gave unconditionally to others. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Very well done. Lori Sullivan and Tom Feldman, would you please come to the stage to present the Bruce Feldman Memorial Young Leadership Award?
We are honored to be here tonight to present this award in memory of Bruce. I know that if Bruce were still here with us, he would be actively involved in this great community. The Bruce Feldman Memorial Young Leadership Award is given annually to honor a young man who has demonstrated personal commitment, dedicated involvement, and exemplary leadership throughout the Jewish and general community. I am so happy to present this award tonight to Shane Cohn. Shane, please come forward to receive your award.
For the last, shall I wait?
Yeah, no, keep going.
Okay. For the last 5 years, Shane has volunteered his time to the JFO annual campaign. He also served as Kahila Cup team leader, Kahila Cup chair, and was the Builder Sabra co-chair of the 2021 campaign. In addition, he co-chaired the 2019 community event with Josh Molina, which was the most successful ever, raising over $1 million in 24 hours. It's not unusual for Shane to make 300 solicitations, calls for a campaign. And Shane and his wife Jess have agreed to be campaign co-chairman with Marty and Iris Ricks next year. Shane also has traveled to Israel with the Men's Momentum Group in 2019. He's a dependable volunteer who does what he says, does what he says, and is going to do and will not say yes unless he gives 100%. He manages all of this on top of a very busy schedule with his family business and 4 small children. He has been very involved member of the Jewish community, and it is my honor to present this award to him tonight. Congratulations, and I'm sure your dad, Steve, and Grandpa Ted, they're proud of you.
So thank you guys, everybody, and congratulations to everybody else. I want to say thank you to the Fellman family for selecting me as a recipient of the Bruce Fellman Memorial Young Leadership Board. I'm both humbled and honored. Through some gentle nudging from my dad to get more involved, thank you, and the realization that my feelings of no longer feeling a part of this community were self-induced, I decided to step out of my comfort zone and jump back in head first. Now, after getting out of my own way, I found my passion for the Jewish community again. I'm grateful that my wife, Jessica, is just as involved as me, and that together we can show our kids that being Jewish is not just about going to synagogue. Thank you, guys.
I invite you to direct your attention to the screen once again as Tim SCHRAGER presents the Phil and Terri SCHRAGER Spirit of Federation Awards.
I am proud to present the Phil and Terri SCHRAGER Spirit of Federation Awards this evening. This award, established in 2006, was conceived by my late father Phil to recognize outstanding service by a man and a woman 45 years of age or older who have demonstrated personal commitment, dedication, and leadership to the Federation and/or its agencies. Tonight, we honor Jamie and Ted Friedland with the Phil and Terri SCHRAGER Spirit of Federation Award. Congratulations, Jamie and Ted. It's an honor to give this award to the two of them. Surprisingly, I have quite a bit in common with our awardees. For one, we're both very close friends with members of the Fellman family. Another interesting fact is that they live in my brother's old house next door to where I grew up. But the most interesting crossover we have is that we all served as 2021 annual campaign chairs in our respective cities this year. And I'm sure we'd agree that this was a very unique year to find ourselves in this position. Jamie and Ted knew the importance of their role and never hesitated to serve to the best of their abilities. When asked to co-chair the campaign, they wanted to be sure they would be able to do a great job and were very thoughtful about engaging new volunteers and reaching a never-before-reached goal. Both Jamie and Ted grew up in Omaha, and their families have always been involved in the Jewish community. Their enthusiasm for the JFO was cultivated at a young age, and they continued to be actively involved in the community as they became adults. Over the years, they have both served on various boards, co-chaired committees, and have been huge supporters of PJ Library. Now, as parents, the JFO continues to play a significant role in their family, including mission trips to Israel, JCC programming, and of course, PJ Library. Ted and Jamie have stepped up to the plate as true leaders. They are hands-on volunteers, as well as very supportive financially of our mission and all the work that we do. They show up for the programs, use our campus, and are positive advocates in the community. They asked an amazing group of volunteers to help with the campaign, and all said yes, many for the first time. Ted and Jamie are true role models who inspire others to serve the Omaha Jewish community. Jamie and Ted, thank you for leading by example. In the spirit of the Federation, I am pleased to present you with this award.
Well, we'll be very brief. Jamie and I are humbled to be recognized as this year's recipients of the Phil and Terri SCHRAGER Spirit of Federation Award. We would like to thank the Federation and the SCHRAGER family for this honor. It is humbling to receive this award set up by Phil of blessed memory and Terri SCHRAGER. They are pillars of the community and have been so supportive of the Federation and its agencies for many years.
Ted and I were both born and raised here and grew up with families that have supported the Federation and its agencies in various ways. We are honored to carry on in our family's tradition and hope that we inspire our children to do the same. Thanks again for this lovely honor.
One last thing, we would be remiss if we didn't thank Steve and Lori for encouraging us to chair the annual campaign. They were very persuasive, a pleasure to work with. They made our jobs easy, and we would like to wish them all the best in the next chapter of their lives. So thank you. Thank you.
Now you get to go through Lori.
Thank you.
And we are now at that point of the evening in which we present the Humanitarian of the Year Award. Established in 1979, this award is the most significant and prestigious honor bestowed by the Jewish Federation of Omaha. Nominations are submitted from throughout the Jewish community. The honoree, who need not be Jewish, is recognized for his or her outstanding service to humanity and lasting impact on the world. It is my distinct honor and privilege as a representative of the Jewish Federation of Omaha to present the 2020 Humanitarian of the Year Award to Marty Ricks. For 14 years, Marty Ricks served the Omaha Jewish community with dedication, expertise, and excellence as the executive director of the Jewish Federation of Omaha Foundation, and then for 4 years as the chief development officer of the JFO. During this time, Marty demonstrated outstanding professional skills, and under his leadership, the foundation and federation flourished. He provided sound guidance and direction through uncertain economic times, and he always maintained a strong network on a national level, continually expanding his knowledge and proficiency in the field of financial resource development. Now that's the company spiel. I can tell you that as someone who succeeded Marty, I'd be hard-pressed to identify anyone with more passion for the Omaha Jewish community, the Federation, and the Foundation. Marty has that perfect blend of gregariousness coupled with making people feel great about being part of a cause. When I first started with the Federation, Marty toured me proudly around campus. He knew everyone, staff and community members alike. Not just their names, but he knew all about their families, their spouses, their careers, where their kids were in school, who their cousins are. His knowledge of our community is unparalleled. After Marty finally retired, his commitment to the Jewish Omaha community has extended well beyond his professional contributions. Marty, in partnership with his wife Iris, are the consummate connectors. They have reached out to countless community members, newcomers, and visitors, developing strong relationships and ties in Omaha and throughout the Jewish world. There's a new family moving to town. Marty is quick to welcome them, find ways to involve them, and connect them with others. If the Ricks happen to be traveling to a city, they seemingly scroll through their vast Rolodex and always find time to have coffee or a meal with a former Omahan. Marty is a true ambassador for the good life and makes sure others recognize just how great of a community we are blessed with. Marty knows what it means to be both a fundraiser and a philanthropist. He works tirelessly, still, on behalf of the community and for the benefit of Jewish people everywhere. He walks the talk, having established a PACE fund, a life and legacy fund, and a donor advised fund at the foundation to make donations to the Jewish and secular charities that are important to Iris and him. Iris has always supported Marty's active involvement as a volunteer and often joins him on projects. As was mentioned earlier, we are honored that Marty and Iris have agreed to co-chair the 2022 annual campaign alongside Shane and Jess Cohn. Marty was raised in Missouri Valley, Iowa, one of only 2 Jewish families in town. His family moved to Omaha in 1957 so he could attend Central High School. After graduating in 1961, he attended Creighton University, the University of Nebraska at Omaha, and graduated from the University of Oklahoma in 1965. In 1969, he earned his Juris Doctor degree from Creighton. He then moved to California and became a CPA specializing in tax accounting. His commitment to the Omaha community is unique in that, as an Omaha native, he left to pursue his career, but later returned to his roots. Even while away, he continued to support the needs of the Jewish Federation of Omaha and the foundation. Recently, Marty and Iris moved to Portland, Oregon for 2 years, returning last November. Although living away from Omaha, he continued to make calls for the Federation's annual campaign, and he played an instrumental role in securing the support of Alan Levine, which led to the transformational reconstruction of this theater, bearing his name where we sit tonight. Marty continues to teach us what it means to be part of a community. His encyclopedic, almost uncanny knowledge of the Jewish Federation of Omaha campus and the Jewish community is something to behold, and his dedication continues as a servant leader to us all. He embraces the responsibility with passion and optimism. He also teaches us the value of philanthropy by giving unconditionally and helping others understand the value of giving. Marty Ricks is very simply a mensch. Marty, on behalf of the Jewish Federation of Omaha and the Jewish community, thank you and congratulations.
Well done, Steve.
And thank you to Tim SCHRAGER for not making me feel overdressed. Well, congratulations to all of tonight's honorees. I loved hearing all those stories, and I'm deeply honored to be on the stage with you. Thanks to all of you for being here to support all the terrific award recipients. Thanks to our son, Mark Ricks, for traveling from New York to witness me receiving this award. Thanks also to my friend Steve Goodman from Florida, who postponed his surgery to be here and did not make his wife happy. Thanks, Steve. Needless to say, I was flabbergasted when Mike Siegel called to inform me that I was the recipient of this award. This call was 4 weeks ago, and I'm still wondering if I'm worthy of this. I've looked at the names of the 40 previous recipients. I won't name any of them if I can't name them all. There were journalists, rabbis, human rights activists, mega donors in both the Jewish and secular communities, presidents of the Federation, doctors, etc. I don't exactly fit in the mold of any of my predecessors. I am the only one that worked as an employee of the Federation and Foundation for a long period, 18 years to be exact. I am proud to have stayed active as a volunteer since retiring 5 years ago, even though living in Portland for 2 of those years. I truly appreciate the nice things Annetta in the press and Alan said about me, and I proudly accept the Humanitarian Award from the Federation. What a thrill to be added to the list of previous award recipients. For 18 years and beyond, I have loved working for and volunteering for the Jewish community of Omaha, and to the best of my abilities, I tried to be kind and respectful to my staff, co-workers, and donors. I was very fortunate to work with outstanding people at both the Foundation and the Federation. I am so thankful. I am especially grateful to be receiving this award in the Alan J. Levine Theater. My friend Alan graduated from Central High School, as did I, and the University of Oklahoma, as did I. Though he lived most of his life in California, he never forgot the impact that growing up in Omaha had on him. I am deeply sorry that he was never able to see this beautiful theater before he passed away a few months ago. Alan did not have children, but this theater is his baby. Now for some thank you comments regarding my 14 years at the Jewish Federation Foundation. Jan Goldstein, head of the Federation when I arrived, I could not have asked for a more effective and professional partner. You were terrific in teaching me the world of Federation, both locally and nationally. Thank you to all my foundation presidents, Harley SCHRAGER, Mike Ehrman, Buddy Rothman, may he rest in peace, Steve Block, and Jay Noddle. A special thanks to the 2 ladies at the foundation who handled all the administrative functions and made sure that everything ran smoothly. Lori Protowski, still working after 22 years, and Janet Henthorn, who retired recently. Thank you to my sister, Jan Schneiderman, for setting the philanthropic table for me. Finally, always supporting me and always involved, my beautiful wife, Iris. She is my best fan, and vice versa. I love you, sweetheart. Again, thanks to the selection committee and to the Jewish Federation of Omaha. I'm deeply, I can't say more, I'm deeply thrilled for this award. Thank you so much.
Marty, you are worthy. You've been a great mentor to me and to others in the community, and also those around the country. As we conclude tonight's annual meeting and awards night, we want to again congratulate all of the award recipients and welcome, and I look forward to working with the new JFO board members to make this coming year an incredible one. Guides are available right outside the theater to take anyone who is interested on a tour of our beautiful new building. Tours will also end at the pool, where we'll invite you to join us for ice cream. You're also invited to help us hang mezuzahs at the newly installed doors throughout the building. So as you walk through the building, if you see a bag with a mezuzah and a blessing, it's attached to the wall. Take it out of the bag, put it on the wall with a little blessing, and thank you. We appreciate you doing that. And if you need help, Lori, I'm sure we'll assist you. So once again, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope you enjoyed the wonderful space that you're in, and look forward to more events with you in the future. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of the evening.